You. What's going on, everybody? If y'all seeing this, let me know. Oh yeah, they about to lose me. They about to lose me for real, for real. Okay. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. This is your boy Conrad, host of the DaRealReel podcast, and we're getting right back into the thick of things. You know, we got to get the reps up. Got to get the reps up. So that's what we're doing around here right now. Tonight is about really just getting the reps up, setting the tone. Y'all see the thumbnail. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Give me 1 second, everybody. Oh yeah, these cats about to lose me for real, for real. You got to be kidding me. Okay. 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 Whatever, whenever, whatever. Yeah, 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 yeah. That is hilarious. Hold on. Find this. Yo, yo. What's going on, everybody? I do apologize. We is getting situated over here. It's been a long time. We stretching muscles and doing all the things that we used to do all over again. Hope everybody's doing well. It's your boy Conrad, host of the Real Real podcast, where we are real people having real conversations about real things, hailing from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And we hope that y'all is doing well. If you be so kind, whenever you see this, wherever you see this, wherever you're coming in from, make sure you get a like, share, and subscribe on the scene. We haven't been in StreamYard or using StreamYard in a hot minute. Matter of fact, we've been off the scene. Uh, for some people may know, some people don't know. Yeah, your boy done messed around and went and got some kids. I actually had a baby boy. He's 2 months old now, and so we definitely are giving God praise for that. Thank God that he is healthy. Giving God praise that he is healthy and all in the clear. And, we're just so glad as we move around and get things situated to back up. I didn't realize how far we came off of StreamYard. So chances are I might not be returning. We might not be returning to StreamYard. We'll see what happens. We don't know. But, you know, we'll keep y'all informed and make sure we get things back to operating at an efficient capacity. Um, Yeah, very quickly, I know again, this is kind of like an impromptu, it's just stretching the muscles, getting everything set again. You know what I mean? But overall, this right here is an example of your life as a business, right? And for anybody who's watching this, young cats, anybody, you always got to remember that your life is a business. Everything you do, from the time you enter into high school, which is literally the start of your pivotal years, wherever you are, whether it's Canada or America. Hey, what's going on, my guy? Giving much love and peace to all of our peoples showing up in the building. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate you, broski. Yeah, your life is a business, and you want to do your best, the best that you can at every stage to be able to make sure that you're investing in your life, right? You know, um, it's cliche to say the right friends, the right people, the right places. But these things are important. They're important to your growth. They're important to you, your sustainability in different areas. And you got to make sure that you have the right people rocking with you at the right time. And as you grow older, you're constantly revisiting this. We men, so we're not going to hide from this. You got to make sure that, when it comes to the relationships with the ladies, whether it's intimately or platonic friendships, you want to make sure that those are the right relationships, the right relationships. That you want to make sure you're hitting up with the right people, right? The right friendships. And I definitely, and I'm a father, I'm married, and that's not necessarily a goal marker in of itself. But I say that to set the preface of what I'm going to say in this case, where it's like you got to make sure that you are selecting. No spouse is going to be perfect, right? I think that's one thing we got to remember. No spouse is perfect. No partner is perfect. We all come with flaws, but you want to make sure that one, you're bringing nothing but transparency, honesty, and stability to the table. That is first and foremost of any relationship. And then as you move forward from there, you want to make sure that you are doing your best to make sure that that person aligns with that. And if you're moving in a certain lane of life, whether business, spiritual, religious, whatever it is, sports, academia, make sure you find somebody that's on your same page, right? And so this is when we say that your life is a business, it is one, making sure that you're picking out that as you go along, that you are selecting. Thank you, Broski. Gas Mask, our brother Gas Mask in the building, always supporting. He said he shared us out. Yeah, we stretching the muscles again. We starting from ground zero. New channel, new platform. Well, new channel, same platform. So we getting it in over here. We getting it in. And yeah, so you want to make sure that you're intentional, you're focused, and you're deliberate about what you're going to be doing. You're, again, intentional, focused, and deliberate about the friends and the circles that you're keeping. You want to be intentional, focused, and deliberate about how you protect your house in terms of how you love your family. And I mean, that comes with many nuances. Everybody knows that you could be in a loving family, you can be in a neglectful family, you can be in an abusive family. In any way, shape, and form, the thing that you must remember is that your life is a business. Um, like if we take this example, and this is for some people, they be like, Conrad, I don't know where you're going to go with this example, but I'm gonna throw it out there anyways. You may see somebody who's homeless, and genuinely you're like, oh well, why are they out here begging for money? And some people, you can see literally that they are, whether they checked out mentally, they've been hurt, they've been thrown aside. You can differentiate those ones differently from the people who are just out there because they're either being lazy, and they might have faced some hard time. It might have been jail, and jail knocked them down into such a category where they can't really they couldn't recoup. People turned their back on them, and now they're out here. I'm of the belief that once you can, be able to discern where you are, even if it's at your lowest, you can still change your circumstance. I sincerely believe that you can change your circumstance. And that's where you got to look at your life as a business, where no matter where you are, whether you're up high, whether you're down low, that you understand that you have the ability. You might not know everything, but you have the ability to make sure that you are in a place where you can still be successful, and where you can definitely be able to get yourself to the next level. So you got to make sure you're aware of the people that you have around you as you grow up. And this is not about a gender war thing. This is a real life thing. Take it from me as a married guy. You don't want to be trying to climb the ladder of success. And as they say, behind every great man is a great woman. and to feed into maybe the relationship arguments that there are out there. Well, then at what point does the great man get the great woman? Is it when he's established, or is it when, as they would say, you weren't shooting me, you weren't with me when I was shooting in the gym? Not everybody's built to shoot with you in the gym. Not everybody's built to sit there and catch rebounds. That's frustrating. There's going to be, especially if you're shooting off a rack, and those who play basketball and have been in the gym getting those reps in, all sometimes if you can get 3, 4 basketballs right beside you in a rack, that's good for your shooting form, your catch and release, and you kind of get in those repetitions that build up that muscle memory. That can be frustrating for the person who's underneath the rim catching the rebounds, especially if they're only one, because at some point they might catch a ball in the head and they be looking at you like, dude, like you see them out here 1-on-1, but they don't know, like, you've actually got into a zone. And here's the problem: when you're building, when you're going along, it doesn't matter what age you are. And I think this is something that women got to remember, is that with men, once they get into a zone, sometimes, a lot of times, it's not that they don't care. It's not that they're callous. It's not that they can't help out. It's that they're in a zone. It doesn't excuse them, because they still should have that awareness. But if in case they don't have an understanding to know that, like, hey, like, he's in the zone right now, I got to coach him up and say, and blow that whistle and say, hey, 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 over here, like, take a time out. And that's necessary to have people with you, partners with you, that can be able to understand that aspect. Now, the biggest thing about we need to understand, especially as young men, about our life being a business, is simply this: is you're only afforded so long to make so many mistakes on a repetitive level. I saw a saying that said, a mistake repeated, or if you apologize for something and it keeps happening again, it's no longer a mistake; it's a decision. So let's see if we can frame this so it comes clear. When you keep doing the same thing over and over again, that causes calamity. At some point, it's not a mistake; it's a decision. Repetitive cycles. You're repeating a cycle, and you see, there may be a chance that you might not be aware of it, but at some point you're doing something that is allowing you to be in the same roundabout. And you got to make sure that if you want to be successful in life, even as just the average everyday person, if you want to be successful, you want to be able to get ahead in your job, you want to be able to get raises, you want to be able to get promotions. Well, it does take a separation of space and time for you to be able to know that you have to have certain disciplines, certain systems, certain routines in place that keep you going on a upward trajectory. Now, if you get to a place where you are kind of stubbing your foot, you're hitting your head, and you're like, why am I not getting ahead? Look at your process. What is your routine like? There's certain things I'm struggling right now with in my marriage. And some people might be like, oh, don't put your business out on the world. It's like, yo, we it wouldn't be much of a slogan if we weren't saying this. But again, we what real people have real conversations about real things. There are certain things I struggle with in my marriage, within the aspect of my relationship. And if I had the chance to go back and do it over again, there's a lot of things that I would do differently, but there's a lot of conversations I would have. And that's the next point. If you are treating your life like a business, you must ask questions that align with the results, or can that can clarify the goals and the results that you're looking to get to. I say that again. If you are intentional about your life having that's what I'm saying. We getting those reps up again. Y'all gonna have to, see with me on that. If you are intentional about your life, understanding that your life is is your first business you're gonna ever have, you've got to ask questions that bring clarity to the goals that you are looking to get to. So, and we're gonna broaden this out. You want a good job, you want to make X amount of money. What knowledge, skills, and disciplines do you have to get there? Right? Those in relationships, you want to be a good father, you want to be a good husband, you want to be a good wife, you want to be a good girlfriend, you want to be a good boyfriend, you want to be good in your courtship. Okay, what skills, what mindsets, what disciplines do you need to have? I think that's the thing that I've always said has gotten lost in translation is we're quick to point out what somebody else didn't do, what they did wrong, what they weren't great at, what they were wrong at, what they were good at being bad at. But we never look at ourselves and say, okay, do I have the mindset? Do I have the discipline? Do I have the character? Do I have the routine? Or do I call an audible when I feel a certain way? Here's a case in point. Your life really doesn't go based on how you feel. Your life goes based on what you are disciplined to complete. I say that again. Your life doesn't go based on how you feel because sometimes how you feel about life in your life is not conducive to your goals. It's not conducive to where you want to be. So again, if we take the phrase behind every great man is a great woman, okay, well, what made her great? What makes him great? Is he great now? Is he as great as he was back then? Gas man said, God and yourself are the best investments you can make. That is facts. That is facts. God and yourself is the best two investments that you can make into your life. And that's exactly what we're talking about. That's actually right on point. If you're investing in yourself, you got to invest in your spiritual relationship with the Most High. You got to invest in your mind. You got to invest as much as you can, invest in your body. And I know we're saying the word invest, and sometimes it's not about money, it's about time. But if you've heard this saying, time is currency, time is money, right? So the time that you're putting in, yeah, you can relax. I got my PlayStation. As much as I'm a father, as much as I'm a husband, and I'm trying to get stronger and better in those capacities every day as an average man, I've got my PlayStation. Hey, when everybody's asleep, I might take an hour, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday. I gotta tell you the truth. Friday, when everybody goes to sleep, when the babies go to sleep, you best believe I'm gonna turn that PlayStation on for about an hour, bomb, decompress. But I also know that as much as I want to relax on a Saturday, there's things to accomplish. So when I get up, even if I'm a little bit tired, we got laundry to do, we got this to do, we got that to do, right? And it's not a matter of who's the head of the household. If I believe in any capacity as a man that I'm a leader, then I set the tone in the morning. So when I get up and my son gets up, okay, he gets up, we brush our teeth, we wash our face, we go get our breakfast. His routine might be different from mine. He goes downstairs, Daddy, I want this and I want that. I want to eat this. I'm hungry, da 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 da. But he knows, okay, Daddy's up with him. And this is sometimes where, again, we as men, we got to make sure that we're balanced. Whatever capacity we're in, we got to make sure we're in balance. Let's say you're a young guy, you ain't got no kids. You can't be up all night playing PlayStation. I mean, unless you're like 10, 11, 12, you got time, relax, enjoy it. But you still want to make sure you get to bed on time so that you can make sure you're functional. You're not overtired, you're not falling asleep in class, you're not falling asleep when you should be paying attention to things like that. So you got to invest in yourself. Again, gas mask hit it. Invest in your relationship with the Most High. Spend that time in prayer, meditation, and the Word of God. That is important. It'll keep you grounded when you're frustrated, when you're literally crashing out and you feel like you ain't got nobody to talk to. God is real. And if you give God the space and time, he'll reveal himself to you. That's another conversation for another day. But you want to make sure you invest in your relationship consistently because it'll keep you. My grandmother used to say this, that prayer is the stop that will keep you going. Prayer stops you from crashing out. Prayer stops you. It brings you into a space and time when you can sit there and actually pour yourself out and open yourself up. And the great thing is where humans fail, where we fail to console each other and comfort each other without judgment and biases, God never has a bias towards you. So definitely continue to always invest in your relationship with God. Number two, you want to invest in your mind. You want to continue to invest in your mind. As you invest in your mind, reading, research, continue to take even what you're learning at school and come home. Spend, as you're doing your homework, you're investing in your mind, but you're sharpening your skills. And as you do that, you want to make sure you're looking into things. Don't just be like, okay, well, the government said this or my teacher said that. Take what they're presenting you and dig deeper. That sharpens you. It makes you a critical thinker. It helps your ability to see beyond and discern. And as they would say in chess, think 4 or 5 moves ahead, right? You want to invest in your body. I was a avid, I love my pops, the ginger ale, orange, grape, cream sodas. But when I was about like 16, I had to start cutting them down because I drank them so much that I started getting acid reflux and heartburn. I hated it. So I cut down the pops immediately. Heartburn, acid reflux, I especially stopped drinking like a lot of heavy juices and sweet stuff at like late times of night. Like, yeah, I got a cup of coffee with me, but that's kind of to keep me up, keep me going through this. And then I'm going to crash later in a little bit and go to sleep before my son gets up. But you want to make sure that your diet is right, right? Doesn't mean that you can't enjoy your gummy bears and your chocolate bears and stuff like that. And a lot of that stuff really isn't really good for us. A lot of the gummy bears is made from gelatin, which is produced from pig fat. Long story short, right? So you don't want to be over consuming that. Can you enjoy it a little bit here, a little bit there? 100%. But you want to make sure you decrease that because that stuff is not sitting as forming bad cholesterol. Long story short, clogging up your arteries, right? That's number one. That's the number two. Don't hate your vegetables. Fine, you might not like all the vegetables. You might not like all the I said the vegetables. You might not like all fruit. You might not like all vegetables, but find some ones that work for you. I love my spinach. I love my kale. Green beans, long stem beans, asparagus, um, whether steamed or raw. Pause. I like those things, and so those they'll help to keep you. Find things that will help to feed your body and heal your body. Things that help you to detox. There are certain fruits that help you to detox. I love my super green drink, right? The kale with the spinach, with the green apple, with the kiwi, and some pineapple in there. I love that. That's a great detox drink. I love to drink my teas, right? So these are different things, and I know it sounds like obviously I'm older, but if you young cats get a lot of these things into your practice as you grow, and you'll be a lot better off. You'll find that you'll have and not be as susceptible to certain things, sicknesses and stuff like that. Make sure to keep your immune system up. Ginger is a really great immune system booster, right? As you invest in your body by way of your diet, you also invest in your body by way of your exercise too. It doesn't mean that you got to go out there and be looking like the Rock as he would say, I'm clanging and banging this iron before long before. No, 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 no. It doesn't mean you got to do that, but you want to make sure that your body understands. You can put it like this, right? Here's a formula, and I always heard this, especially for the young guys. You got to be able to lift your own weight, and the best way to start doing that is using your own body weight to work yourself out. Um, Crunches, classic, abs, core. You know, getting those planks in, core. Getting the push-ups in, different variations to build your upper body strength. Got to make sure that you're doing that, and then as you grow along, you can add into getting into the gym to use iron now to further cement your strength, right? You also want to have a know-how, and those of us that are older, y'all, whenever you see this, you can chime in and tell whether I'm telling the truth or not. But a lot of arguments going on in the space today is about relationships and whether men are leaders and whether women are followers and whether women are wives or whether men are real men and all this stuff like that. But it's like, where's your mental? Right? And I'm not saying that no platform is getting to this, right? There are platforms that do what they're supposed to do. There are ones that are debates, and you got people that they have their ideals, and anybody can change their mind. So the platforms that they go to debate, their opinion and their stance is necessary. These conversations are all necessary. But as Sharon Bracey said, and wherever he says, salute him to the solution based gang. we got to be solution based, right? And sometimes solution based is where's my formula at? So as you guys come out of your teens and you into your 20s, and this is my stance, and we can get into this on a whole nother topic, and we will. I believe men need to put some women in the friend zone. It doesn't mean that you don't want to have sex with them. It doesn't mean you don't find them attractive. But what it means is that you understand that, listen, and here's a formula. I sincerely believe for men, if you want to be good in a relationship, in the intimate relationship, there's two areas that you are going to be able to grow from: platonic friendship with a female, random female that doesn't really know you from when you were birthed, or you guys weren't in the same grade school. I mean, straightly platonic, no sex involved, no feelings involved in terms of like, I love you, you love me. Um, and then your family. Your family is going to teach you humbleness. Well, they should be able to teach you humbleness, because your family is the one group of people that you will disagree with, borderline even be like, I hate you sometimes. And you all still have a responsibility to make sure that the house is kept, that everything is good, that everybody's safe. Because why? We're family. You put away a lot of that ego. So don't forsake your family. You got to protect your family, protect your home. Not everybody that's cool with you, not everybody should be able to have an access to your home. And if they do, that list should be super, super short, like one or two people, maybe three, that know your family, that know where you live, that know if they're in trouble, they can knock your door. And even if you're not home, your mom and your pops, or, whoever is there, will be able to say, yeah, like, you're cool. You're almost one of the family. Come on in. But you can't have everybody going knowing where you live. You know, I know this age is real digital, so a lot of us, we live our home as social media, as social. Hey, you should be able to have a space that's like curated for you. That's basically what I'm saying, and you should be able to grow in that area, and be nurtured in that area. And your family is definitely one. A platonic relationship is another. Relationship with your boys and girls, it works the same. Ladies, it works the same for you. You got to make sure that you are understanding on how to keep yourself circumspect, and how to respect your space and keep your space private, both what's between your legs and otherwise. I had to go there. It's necessary, right? And I'll tell you guys the truth. If I had learned, if I had been exposed to a lot of the things I'm saying now a lot earlier, again, there's certain decisions that I made that would have looked drastically different here right now, even towards my marriage. I'm not going to front with you guys. Again, we are what? Real people having real conversations about real things. The next thing, and I did mention this, is about the friends that we choose, the business, the company that we keep. Now, this is going to be important. On the previous channel, which is still up, and make sure you go subscribe at DaRealReel_clips, at DaRealReel_SCE, and at DaRealReel podcast. Subscribe, like, share the platforms on all three. On our previous channel, which, to God be the glory, we grew that up to, 5,500 strong, 5,500 subscribers. And now we, because the algorithm had us kind of a little messed up, and we had a little bit of everything going on there, we didn't really have things properly planned out as much as we grew it. So we started again. We had a little bit of a partnership going on. And for those of all that y'all know me, y'all know I'm not really the biggest debate format. I can do it if I have to, but I'm more of a long-winded speaker. And based on the mission of the platform and the DaRealReel podcast team, this is what it works for us right now. It doesn't mean that we can't support and we won't support other people, but it does mean that list is going to be very, very small. Like, even right now, off the top of my head, there'll probably be about 10 other platforms. Gas Mask has got to be included in that, obviously. So, as we were going along, I wasn't able to be consistent. I wasn't being consistent. I shouldn't say I wasn't able to, because you always have the ability to. It's whether you make the choice to do it. So I wasn't being consistent. I wasn't being disciplined. I wasn't being as innovative and intuitive as I was. And so at one point I had to send a message to say, hey, like I got to step back from this. It's not anybody else's fault. I'm not in this place where I'm being a contributing partner in this. And realistically, I just don't know if I'm going to be. So rather than keep stringing people along, everybody's asking me what's going on, what's going on. It's not about likes or dislikes. It's not about hate or not. It's just, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Let me step back. That's the respectable thing to do. Now, I'm not going to share on this stream what happened because of that, but there will be another stream where we talk about the outcomes of taking responsibility. And here's another note. As you treat your life like a business and you're protecting and insulating it, there will be times where you take accountability and it does not yield the results that you think it's going to be. Everybody ain't going to be cool with you after you take accountability. Some people may downstraight not even like you after you take accountability. I'm going through a situation right now. Me and my wife, she brought up something to me, bomb, take accountability for it. And it's still like, does that mean I get the opportunity to hate her and point the finger at her and be like, oh, you said you were going to, nah, I take accountability for what I can take accountability and change that, work every day to change that. And some things are harder than others. I'll tell you the truth. But my life is a business. So even at 42, 41, I got to make sure that I'm moving in a way where I'm not really waiting on other people to validate what I'm taking accountability for. I validate me taking accountability by the fact that I show up and make sure I accomplish what I said I was going to accomplish, do what I was going to do. And if that also means I have to make some hard decisions that, people didn't see coming, and hey, it is what it is. Accountability, and this is one thing I've learned, accountability doesn't mean you're going to like it. I'll say that again. Accountability does not mean you're going to like it. It means you have an opportunity to do what is, let's say, right or necessary to be able to make sure that your next steps don't work against you. For everybody, this goes to, and I think this is a part where I'm going to end it. We 42 minutes in, and I'm going to say this: the next we set up a couple of things already, so the next show is not going to be done on StreamYard. We're going to be choosing a different platform that can at least allow us with some of the same flexibilities and enjoy some of the same fruits that we had before. Shout out to StreamYard. Y'all made some really great advancements for the platform. Happy for y'all. But y'all tripping on certain things. Okay. And as we rebuild and reshift everything, I'm going to let StreamYard know, thank you for the quality, but y'all tripping on certain things. Most definitely. So yeah, as we go through that, I just wanted to put that out there. Oh, man, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the stream, wherever you are. Right, it's a rough first episode. If anybody remembers, if you go back to the our first channel, DaRealReel _SCE, look at the first episode. Y'all didn't see these lights. The camera wasn't as clear as it is right now. Like I'm telling you, like it was rough. And I'm not like, I can't even lie to y'all. Like it was rough. Okay, it was rough. I'm sorry. Like, I had to move something across. Yeah, that first stream was rough. So if y'all think this is like, bro, like Conrad, like you had things flowing, you had this popping up and that popping up before. Like I said, we had to retool some things, make sure everything's all right. And we had to make some decisions, make some cuts. And we made some cuts, made some decisions. So for this first episode, yeah, it's rough. It's rough. It's rough. Background's rough. Like it's rough. But we moving in a certain vein, and sometimes right now, less is going to be a little bit more. Um, yeah. So this is just part one. Getting back into it. As we get back into it, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at DaRealReel Podcast. You can find us. Um, any of our episodes after we go live on YouTube, they will be redistributed to Facebook, to Twitch, to Rumble, to Kick, and we gonna get those going on a consistent basis. And we want to hear from y'all. I don't know if we should do it or shouldn't do it, but if there was any episode that y'all actually liked from the first platform, go to DaRealReel_SCE, go into the playlist, into the live stream playlist, see which episode y'all liked. And if you want us to replay this or repurpose it and put it back out, let us know. There's a whole bunch, there's a bevy of episodes up there. There's some cross-platform or cross-promotional content that we will be taking down because that partnership is no longer active. But that's just the nature of the beast, right? We ain't got no time to be going to court. Nobody. And I ain't losing no sleep or no money over that for nobody. So, yeah, you figured it, feel me. Yeah. As such, I mean, this is just kind of really part one. This is super introductory. Thank you, Gas Mask, for being here and kind of being that one of one as we retool the platform and get things going again. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Again, over here on this platform, we're focused on getting men, getting women, as much as y'all double tap in, real solutions, actionable advice, and formulas to get you real results. My name is Conrad, the host of the DaRealReel Podcast, and we want to thank y'all for rocking out with us. Thank y'all for being here. Much love, peace, and blessings to y'all. Like, share, and subscribe at DaRealReel Podcast. Much love. Peace out.